Is it recording? Okay, good. I want to talk a little bit about a couple things about the atheist community. First of all, I have used the term YouTube atheist before, and YouTube atheists, ironically, have told me, oh, there's no such thing. Now, in general, there's there's a, well, okay, forget that. There's a way to invent terms that is robust but primitive, right? You want your term to have some sort of intentional sense to it, like a dictionary definition. But it's possible to brute force a definition by just picking people and creating what we call an extension, right? A set of examples of this thing. Well, what is it in principle? I don't know. We're going to discover the principle. We're going to study this group and try to come up with the principle. Maybe we'll fail. Maybe there is no principle. But you can always create a material principle. So, for example, YouTube atheists, which people have claimed, oh, there's no, and as I was going to say, they're doing this in threads that are about how the communities break up, and then they want to deny. Because the YouTube atheism, they'd like to think this atheist community, they've got people like Christopher Hitchens that they would like to include as part of this community, so it's not limited to YouTube. And it's true, there are such connections, and there is, you could call it an online atheist. But if you want to brute force create a thing called YouTube atheist and understand what it's meant, you say, well, we take everybody that's an atheist on YouTube. That's a good rough approximation. Right away you should figure out, well, that doesn't really work. I mean, Piero, me, I'm an atheist. I don't really think I'm a part of any YouTube atheism, or it's not what I mean to characterize by it, but I'll take that risk. If you have to put me in that group, fine, because I can still characterize that group because I'm so atypical in it that, I'll more or less cancel out with other atypical people. You understand? You understand why I just made that argument, even? But anyway, given such a group, you could start to try to characterize it. Now, what I really wanted to say, and I think how I'll title this video, is that I think someone like myself that has been an atheist my whole life, studied religion, took, philosophy of religion and history of religion and Bible studied in high school just of my own free accord, and has had a very, I've been involved in studying religion. I'm not just characterizing it as someone that never had religion, or even as someone that had one religion that rejected the one religion and thinks that they can reject all religions because, they know all about religion. They were a Christian. That is the religion after all. Okay, I'm beating around the bush a little bit because it's not humble what I'm about to say. But I think you converts, you people that went to seminary school and then became an atheist, you may feel that you're the best atheist. It's palpable to you. People like me growing up as atheists, we don't even know what we're rejecting, so we reject nothing, and so on and so forth. But I think that's just because of your locality. Where you are in time and space makes you feel that way, yeah, because it's so close to you, that theism. But from my point of view as a lifelong atheist, you tend to have a lot of patterns that you whitewash. You whitewashed all the theism out of these patterns, and then I'm supposed to believe that's atheist. Like if you take a dinosaur and make it out of a silicon-based life form and then a carbon-based life form, and then say, well, there's no relationship. Like a fossilized dinosaur bone isn't made of bone anymore. Why do we call it a fossilized dinosaur bone? Well, because it's in the form of a dinosaur bone, and you guys have a lot of theistic fossils in your thinking, just statistically, and it's understandable. But then again, anybody notice that the YouTube atheists are dominated by people that have had some immersion in a particular religion. Generally Christianity, which is interesting. An experienced person would thus expect, expect that this group of YouTube atheists with this high level of Christian experience would have Christian fossils in their so-called atheism. And really, they ought to spend more time looking for those. That's what I think. They ought to spend more time looking for those fossils and studying them, less time being preachers.